welcome back to Soul Moon Rising. I am Jennifer. For today's video, I have something a little bit different for you. I am going to tell you a personal story about my angel encounter. Whether you believe in angels or not, I will leave this totally up to you, but this is a true story that happened. It kind of really gave me a kickstart into what I do now, into energy healing and crystals. I've been a big advocate of essential oils for many years before this, but yeah, so several years ago, about 2.5 now, I was feeling very heavy, very much weighed down, not like myself at all. I knew there was something going on that was outside of myself. I was not me, but I didn't feel like it was me personally that was making me not me, if that makes any sense at all. So I kind of came to realization, it was going on for about a week, and one of my friends said, really close friend, she knows me really well. She's like, what the heck is going on? You're not acting like yourself. You're, really negative. You're really down. You have absolutely no energy, which was completely true. I was so tired, and all I wanted to do was sleep, and I was always grouchy and snapping at people, and that is just not who I am. I'm usually the highly encouraging type person. So I told her, I'm like, I have no idea. There's just something on me that is not me, and I can't get rid of it. So she's like, and I love her. She'll know who she is if she watches this. She's like, well, you need to get your shit together and figure it out, because this is not working. So that night, now I would call it meditation, but then I didn't call it meditation. I sat down and thought about, okay, what can I do that I know I can do that might help with this process? So I have my essential oils. I've used them since 2011, and I absolutely love them. I use them for everything. Okay. No matter what brand you use, I don't care. It's personal preference. But frankincense is the oil of the Divine Father. It connects you with your male higher power. So for me, that was something that sounded like a good idea, because I figured if anybody could help me, it was him. So I put frankincense in the shape of a cross on my brow. Okay. And for whatever reason, when I was standing in front of my box of oils, I got this overwhelming feeling that I needed to put on cedarwood. Now, cedarwood at the time was a fairly new oil to me. I hadn't had a whole lot of experience with it. So I wasn't sure why. I mean, I loved the smell. I've always loved cedar, but I didn't know why. So I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but I'm going to put it on too. So I rubbed it on my church later that cedarwood is actually the oil of angelic wisdom and protection. So remember this, it comes into play later in the story. Well, and this was right before bed. So right after I put on my oils, I went to sleep. Okay. During that night, I had what initially I thought was a dream, but now I have come to the realization that I was actually transported to another realm and had an experience in that realm that forever changed my life. So during this dream that night, I was on a battlefield. Now, mind you, it was a battlefield. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. So it was dark but light at the same time. The sky was kind of like sunset colors. On one side of the battlefield, it looked like the ground had been burned. On the side where I was standing, mind you, we were right on the line. And I say we, and I'll tell you who else was there in a moment. But we were right on the line, and this was this dirt patch between this burned side. It was all red and black and kind of hilly, like for as far as I could see. And then behind me was all green and lush, and we were standing on this dirt patch. It was neither green and lush, and it was not burnt and red. Okay, so directly in front of me, standing probably like right here, like I was peeking out from behind him, was this massive man. Massive. I mean, I'm 5'3", okay, so I'm not a big girl, but he towered over me, and he just shone. I can't describe it any other way than that. And so I peek out around this, what I believe is a man at the time, and in front of him, standing on the line of the dirt and the black red, is this creature. Now, all I can describe this creature as, I'm kind of a movie nerd, so I'll give you some pictures. It's kind of a golem-esque type creature. It was short in stature, maybe 4 foot tall. It had no eyes and no lips. You could see directly to its teeth. It was really creepy looking. And it had like a skeletal type opening for the nose, and really raspy breath, like really raspy. It never actually said anything, but you could audibly hear it breathing. There was also another massive man standing perpendicular to the first man, probably 5 feet to his right, which would also have been my right. Both of these men were in what I would describe as old Roman style battle gear, like the metal plated kilt, for lack of a better word. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. The brass breastplate, the red cape. Think of the movie 300, how those guys dressed for battle. That is exactly what they looked like. I mean, the sandals, the metal shin guards, the helmets, the shields were huge. They were seriously, like, again, bigger than me, okay? And both of them had this sword that was probably 6 feet long, okay? So for them, it was totally manageable, because I would guess these guys were probably 10, maybe 12 feet tall. They were enormous and massive, muscular, and just like the most fit person you've ever seen in your life. That's kind of what they resembled. And so anyway, yeah, Roman style battle gear, massive shield, massive sword. And I remember the sword shone a bright blue color, but I'm not sure if it was actually the sword itself that was illuminated, or if it was the fact that there was this massive glow from both of these ginormous men. It was so bright, I could not look up to them. It was like looking at the sun. It was that bright. And I remember while we were there, standing on this precipice, if you will, that only one of them spoke. It was not the man in front of me. It was the man off to his right. And just before he spoke, I got these 2 names just popped up in my head, because these guys looked like familiar strangers. You know those people that you see them and you're just like, I know you from somewhere, but I just can't place it. Well, as I'm standing there, right before this one man speaks, the names Michael and Gabriel pop up into my head. And I know that I am in the presence of 2 archangels. I mean, wow, really? Who gets to experience stuff like this? So after I realize I'm in the presence of 2 archangels, Gabriel Speaks. He's the one off to the left, or excuse me, to the right. And he looks directly at this creature in front of us and he says, "You cannot have her. She has work to do for us." Speaking about me, I have work to do for the angels. Now, mind you, at the time, I was working part-time and I was doing just office assistant. I was doing data entry. I was doing filing, stuff like that. And I was sharing my essential oils with my friends. That's what I was doing. I didn't foresee that as angel work. But anyway, so Gabriel said, "You cannot have her. She has work to do for us." And then he said, "You can leave here now or suffer the consequences." And I just remember this swift movement and this flash of light, and the creature was gone. I don't know if he chose to try and attack these 2 angels or if he actually fled and ran away. So after that, Gabriel turns to me and he says, "Somebody's going to come into your life that is going to change it forever. She is going to be a mentor to you for only a short time, but she's going to guide you to the path that you need to be on. The path that's going to help change the life of so many people. Your mission is to help others become the best versions of themselves. Your mission is to change people for the better." And that was it. It was gone. I woke up. A couple days later, I've had some friends that I actually met on Facebook that I've never met in person. And one of these people reached out to me and she's like, "I don't know what's going on, but I was told by my guides to tell you to look into Reiki." And I knew without a shadow of a doubt in that moment that this was a message from the angels. So that's exactly what I did. I started looking into Reiki and I dived headfirst, both feet, whichever analogy you want to get, into energy healing. And I became a Reiki master, a crystal Reiki master. I've started delving into crystal healing. I'm currently on the path to become a grandmaster because I know this is the path that I'm supposed to be on to help the most people. But that is something that I will never forget. And for the longest time, it was probably several months before I told anybody about any of it, because I wasn't sure if I was going crazy or it was just a dream or what. So I kept it to myself for a very long time. When I finally did tell somebody, they were like, "Oh my God, Jennifer, you had the most miraculous experience any one person could have. Do you have any idea what this means?" And still to this day, till right this moment, I've been very selective who I've told that, because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. I mean, really. You know, we hear things that people see angels or they feel them or they get messages or whatever. But I always took it with a grain of salt, thinking, oh, maybe they were just dreaming and this was a great dream. But once I had my own experience, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that every single one of these people that have had a similar experience, and I listened to one just the other day, and he described Michael the exact same way that I saw him myself. And I was actually inspired by that video to tell my story here because I think it could help other people. So, anyway, that is my story. Take it at you will. If you have similar experiences that you would like to tell me about, I would absolutely love to hear about them. This is a safe space, okay? So feel free to tell me, or if you have your own idea about what happened, tell me that too. I don't care, but I would love to hear your comments on the subject. I know this was not in one of my normal videos, but I believed it was divinely led that I needed to share it with you guys. So if you are interested in more on energy healing, please like, comment, and share this video. Remember to subscribe if you like this channel and this information. And yes, from my light to yours, guys. Namaste. I love you.